HarperCollins presents The Florence Sisters by Tessa Harris. Read by Lucy Walker Evans. Prologue. Florence. August the 3rd, 1944. Flashes of light pulsed across the southern night sky, and ash drifted on the air like snow. The distant hills were dotted with fires, and the guns were growing louder. The power plant was out of action, and the city had been plunged into darkness, although now and again the gibbous moon would appear from behind gathering clouds. Down there, somewhere, lay the Arno, the Allies' last barrier. All 6 of its bridges were shackled by mines and awaiting their cruel fate. It looked like the Germans planned to blow them up throughout the night. Angelina could hardly believe that by morning they may all be gone. Turning her head towards the direction of the Ponte Vecchio, she felt her heart ache at the thought of its destruction. Out of all of the bridges, with its beauty and grace and history, surely even the Nazis could find just a little pity in their cruel and callous hearts to save it. It was then that the thought hit her. The portrait of the young woman. She wondered if it was still there on the bridge. The prospect of it being lost to civilization forever was very real, yet one more victim of this terrible war. She squinted at her watch in the moonlight. 8 minutes to 10. 8 minutes until the first explosion. Her stomach was in knots. Her head hurt and her heart pounded, each beat marking another second closer to destruction. Deafened by her own trepidation, she didn't hear the footsteps behind her. It was only when the moon showed its face for a moment, and a shadow loomed behind her, that she whipped round, realizing she wasn't alone. Instinctively, she took cover, hoping whoever it was hadn't seen her. But then she saw him, and panic welled inside her as he moved through the darkness towards her. There was nowhere to hide. A thick wooden stick had propped open the trapdoor. She'd grabbed it on the way up, knowing it would make a weapon. As she flattened herself against the chimney stack, she felt the weight of it in her hand. Closer. He drew closer, glass crunching under his feet. She readied herself to take a swipe. Raising her arm to shoulder height, she held her breath and struck blindly, but hard. The night of the bridges had begun. Part 1. Chapter 1. Florence, June 1940. "Good heavens!" exclaimed a rather startled elderly lady, abruptly pulling a hearing trumpet from her ear. "What's that racket?" Lady Felstein's companion, Agatha Fortescue Smythe, slightly younger but with an air of invincibility, glared at her through lorgnettes. "I'm sure I can't hear anything," she replied, taking a sip of Earl Grey. She resumed her conversation with the other ladies at the table, although sitting by her, Angelina, her great niece, could most definitely hear something. The sound was growing louder by the minute. It was a sweltering Monday afternoon in the city, and members of the English Ladies' Arts Appreciation Society had convened as usual in the Grand Café Donné. But the whirring overhead fans were having little effect on the hot, close air, and the heat only added to the young woman's terrible sense of foreboding. For a while now, Lena, as she liked to be known, although her Aunt Circle insisted on calling her by her full name, had sensed the city was simmering. She half expected it to boil over at any moment. If Italy joined the war, as most predicted, it wasn't only millions of lives that would be endangered. Florence was considered the cradle of the Western Renaissance, and centuries of priceless art risked destruction too. Summers spent in the city as a child had led to her own passion for art, and a degree at university in London. Her love of the Renaissance was one of the reasons she'd returned, that and to be with her formidable great-aunt, who'd so encouraged and inspired her in the first place. Still, Agatha refused to be put off her stride. "So, I asked the ambassador what might happen to all the works of art in the city, should Italy enter the war. Surely, I said to him, Signor Mussolini must be sensitive to his responsibilities for the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?